Hey, I'm Tavleen, the founder of the U Engine, and I'm super excited to be doing this video. Well, I help my clients turn their bland and frail messaging to fascinating cash-filling conversations. In this video, I'm discussing how to evoke empathy through your messaging that makes even your most stone-hearted prospects fall in love and grab the action button. More specifically, let me ask you, are you struggling with writing your sales messaging and wondering how you can make sure that your prospects just cannot glaze their eyes over your messaging and ignore it? Well, then you have arrived at the right place. That's what this training is all about. But the thing is, you can find a ton of articles and videos online talking about empathy as a sales tool. They will tell you, use empathy, it's effective, it really works. And I'm sure it does. And I'm sure you're familiar with all of that. The question that I'm asking through this video is indeed a very profound one. And it is, what do messages without empathy even sound like? What's the fine line between sounding empathetic, sympathetic, and condescending? How you should not sound in your messaging and how you should not make your prospects feel through your messaging. Well, this video is a result of all those questions and more. But before that, let me just start this video by introducing you to this Brené Brown's video. It actually highlights the subtle difference between sympathy and empathy. Now, Brené Brown is the author of the book, The Power of Vulnerability. And she also has a powerful TED Talk, which I will encourage you to watch. Now, in this video, she says that sympathy is when you sort of look down upon people and you try and silverline their problems. So, think of it this way. Your friend comes and tells you, I have problem X and I'm struggling with it. And in response to that, you say, well, that's okay. At least you don't have problem Y, because that's even worse, you see. So it's that when you really don't, where you sort of feel for your prospects, or where you feel for people and not with people. And in contrast, she says, empathy is feeling with people. In order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. And that's such a beautiful way of really summarizing what empathy really is, right? So she says, fixing your loved one's problem is not often what is needed, nor is it necessarily your job or even within your ability to do so. But the question is, what if you get paid for fixing people's problems? And if it is really your job to fix them, can you still empathize with them? So, well, what's intriguing to me is, how can you empathize with people, fuel deeper connections, and still sell? How can you empathize and still promise to fix their problems with your offer? And finally, is selling with empathy an oxymoron of sorts? Well, so with all those questions, I decided to do a short video and really discuss with you. And for the purpose of advancing our discussions into this field, I actually chose a very interesting market, which is helping introverts becoming more confident and network better. So let's say you're a marketeer and you're actually helping introverts, so that's your target audience, become more confident and network better. So with that context set, let me introduce you to my first character. So she's the judgmental, condescending Anu auntie, and she's the marketeer who lacks empathy but has a ton of sympathy. So if she were operating in this market, how would she actually frame her marketing messages? Let's find out. Well, she'd be like, how does it feel to be on your own and sift through a collection of bogus books when you can be at a party with loud music and drinks? Or binging on Netflix all on your own with a bag of crisps to feed on and not pushing yourself harder in social circles. Feeling sick about having limited friends you can just count on your fingers and not a room to fill up with? Oh, I know how that feels. You just want to rip yourself apart. Well, she says, I can help. I'm kind of big deal, you see. I can give you every information under the sun to become bold-faced and almost an irreverent extrovert badass. And you know what? I've always been like that. That's why I can help. And with that, she chuckles and lifts her glass of wine. Well, don't you just want to break her face? Me too. I raise my hand. Okay, so, well, you hate her because in her messaging, what she's really saying, what she's really making people feel through her messaging is, oh, poor you, let me help. And she's the judgmental, condescending Anu auntie. So not the kind of marketeer that you probably would like to be, right? Now let's meet the hypey and slimy Harry with tools to fix every problem on planet Earth. And he's the marketer who lacks empathy and sympathy both. Well, all he wants to do is close the damn deal. So if he were to frame the same marketing messages and sell introverts the power of becoming confident and network easily, how would he go about framing his messages? So let's place ourselves in his shoes and find out how he really talks to his prospects. So here's how he goes. Without really, without even talking about the problem or the pain point of the prospect, he straight away jumps to the tool that he has. You know why? Because he's got a magical tool. So he goes, boost your popularity, naturally attract friends and romantic partners. You'll see the weird side effect of people gravitating towards you and dying to be around you. Oh, your new extrovert personality commands respect, attention, and obedience from your audience. Watch as people do whatever you want them to do. You'll feel like you've inherited mind control abilities. Wow, that's amazing, right? And he says, become irresistible to everyone you meet. Friends want to be near you. People feel strangely attracted towards you. And the opposite sex won't be able to keep their hands off you. Oh, sounds amazing. These are normal everyday occurrences for strong, confident, and extroverted personalities like the one you have in just minutes from now. Cool, right? You don't want to be like the slimy and salesy Harry. In fact, you don't even want to buy from him, right? So the question is, how can you have empathy as a marketer in the world of stone-hearted, condescending Anus and slimy and salesy Harrys with tools to fix everything on planet Earth? Well, by becoming the Rita. So meet Rita. Well, she is the one who means business, though she has plenty of empathy in her heart. And she does something which none of the two marketeers in picture so far have done, and which is what makes this marketeer so powerful. Well, let's find out. Rita thinks of Cindy. Well, now Cindy doesn't want to be looked down upon. She doesn't want every information under the sun to become an extrovert badass. Shh, that's not her motivation. She would hate it if men can't keep their hands off her, right? Instead, she wants to be able to make connections, like, deeper connections, and not feel anxious or numb when around people. She just wants to be a more confident version of herself without putting in loads of effort or hating herself along the way. Well, so that's simple, right? Those are her motivations and those are her fears and inhibitions. So let's see how Rita tackles this challenge, and let's see how Rita actually markets her solution to Cindy. So, well, Rita feels with Cindy and writes for her. What you must notice is that she doesn't write for everyone. She only writes for Cindy. And she goes, you walk up to strangers at parties and try to strike conversation with them, but words seem to freeze in your mouth. You find it painfully hard to make a small talk with a group of people, while sipping your coffee quietly on the side is so easy. And even harder to shake hands with people at business conferences and flash your visiting card with a smile. You wonder, what if they glaze their eyes over, or don't smile back, or just give you a weird look and leave without even taking your card? Or even worse, what if you freeze when you're in front of them? Well, I know people can be ruthless sometimes, but I can help. I've been there. I can help you get confident in social circles and network like a pro, even if you dread the idea of being around human beings. You fear you'll not be approved of when you express your opinion in public. You've always been an introvert and have always had a hard time making friends. Do you notice what Rita does? Well, she takes care of Cindy's biggest objections and resonates with her pain points. She makes Cindy believe that she can help her without making Cindy hate herself or completely change herself. And what she says next is even better. So she goes, and here's the thing. You don't have to be an extrovert to achieve your greatest potential. You don't have to put on a fake version of you to be socially accepted. And finally, contrary to what your parents or teachers have been telling you, you can be successful, confident, and network like a pro as an introvert. By tapping into your natural unique strengths. Let me show you how. So she doesn't position her solution till she has spent enough time deeply resonating with Cindy's pain points and really empathizing with her. All right. So the question that I'm asking is, who do you really want to sound like? The condescending, sympathetic Anu, or the slimy and salesy Harry, or the empathetic Rita who means business? Well, the answer, I'm guessing, is a no-brainer. So let's get talking. What is your biggest struggle with your messaging? Do your messages sometimes miss the mark and other times go overboard? So I would really love to hear back from you, so do share your thoughts with me in the comments below. The truth is, empathy is a skill and you gradually hone it until it starts coming naturally to you. Like Seth Godin says, if you want to know why someone does what they do, start with what they know, what they believe, and where they came from. Well, in my next video, you will meet the green-eyed Joey, and he sells Confidence Pack, which is an online training. He's having a lot of problems justifying the low cost of his Confidence Fix pack, and he's struggling with this really big question. How can I convince people that I have enough value to add, even though I'm cheap? Even at $7, I can add a ton of value and start transforming their life. So I will give you all the answers in my next video. Thank you so much for joining me in this action-based training. The next one too will be very insightful. Do stay glued to your inbox. I will send you an email as soon as it is ready for watching.